Is there a diet that can help enhance your spirituality? When using the word spiritual, it can take on different meanings. To some it might be attributed to someone with a strict religious view, such as being a devout Christian or Muslim. However, in this context it is used for the open-minded person that believes there is more to life than the material world, and is open to the different possibilities and ideas from various cultures. Literally, we are what we eat, as the food we eat becomes our cells, skin and hair. So what you consume can have a profound effect on your spirituality and mind. The first thing is making sure your nutrition is geared appropriately to sleep well, as what you eat can drastically affect your sleep, thus making you more moody or calm the next day, allowing you to perform optimally as desired in positive spirits. First thing is to cut out late night eating. Usually stopping your eating after 8 p.m. is a good policy if, for instance, you sleep at midnight, since that food energy cannot be used to its fullest as your body will soon be at rest and sleeping, thus going into your fat stores. As well, it will add the burden to your digestive system when you are sleeping, and may not even absorb the calories properly. You can verify this often if you eat before sleep, which you might not in fact be able to sleep because your body is actively digesting the food. And when you wake up in the morning, your mouth might be coated with more morning mucus than usual. As well, you might feel sluggish like you've been drugged. Obviously, this rule needs to be taken in context for the individual's schedule, as you might work late at night or go to bed at a later time. So just try to manage appropriately to curb the heaviness of your eating as you prepare for sleep. If you cannot put a hard stop to your eating at 8 p.m., lighten the foods you eat after bed by eating low-sugar vegetables and avoiding items with heavy refined sugar. The next thing for a good night's sleep is making sure you are getting the essential nutrients, where you can supplement appropriately if you are missing any crucial items. Melatonin is a big part of getting a restful sleep, as it helps to keep your body in a deep state of slumber, and your body actually produces it naturally as you sleep. However, as you get older, your body might produce this less effectively, so it can be supplemented appropriately. Also, magnesium and the amino acid tryptophan, which is found naturally occurring in foods, can drastically affect sleep. So taking some of these supplements before bed can greatly help with your sleep. You can obtain melatonin, magnesium or tryptophan at your local health food store, or you can look at the description portion of this video to purchase it online. Fasting is often considered part of a spiritual practice. It actually makes you appreciate food more when you can feel some slight discomfort from not eating. You can do this a little bit at a time by either delaying or skipping breakfast some mornings, and push your limits appropriately so you do not feel lightheaded and maintain energy. However, as you become more experienced in fasting, you might find you can even go a whole day without eating and still feel energetic. Intermittent fasting has also become a popular fitness fad lately, since it allows the body time to catch up and eliminate all its waste, and it resets your metabolism to have better sensitivity to actually absorbing the food you eat into energy. But aside from the actual physiology of fasting, the mental process of detaching yourself from food can actually make you have more gratitude toward eating when you resume eating again. Making sure you are eating foods in the appropriate combinations also makes a difference in your mental state, since some foods eaten together don't digest optimally, and can cause you a great deal of mental and physical discomfort unknowingly. Since we often disregard this in modern society and just eat things in indiscriminate combinations, such as protein, which takes acid to digest, and starches, which take alkaline to break down. So a standard meat and potatoes diet would be mixing acid and alkaline, which in basic chemistry would neutralize each other and not make for effective digestion. The book Fit for Life by Harvey Lee Diamond discusses this concept of proper food combining, among other things, which you can purchase at the description link of this page. The next part is eating as many live fresh foods as possible. Particularly in North America, our food is laden with preservatives and chemicals that you can notice a huge difference in taste if you go overseas with less industrialized foods. These preservatives are good for commerce in allowing a longer shelf life for food. However, it is not so great for your body, which can't absorb those items appropriately into usable energy. Also, in the Eastern viewpoint of health, our energy body is made of a universal energy. This universal energy is called Kai in Chinese, Qi in Japanese, and Prana in India. We will use the Chinese name Kai for the ease of labeling. Whereas in the Western scientific world, we tend to label energy as carbohydrates, proteins, fat, or ATP. The Qi energy system is the basis of acupuncture, where needles placed in certain points of the body are able to heal the body appropriately. This model of Kai defies Western scientific explanation. However, it has proven effective in history and in modern times as a viable healing system. On that basis, live foods like vegetables and fruits are considered to be higher in Kai, since they are still living plant organisms and have active water content. If any of these foods are cooked, that means they have less Kai. Therefore, cooking your vegetables is not preferable since it takes out the active Kai in food. With that idea, foods like meat have less Kai, since they are in fact dead organisms. Thus, a vegetarian and vegan diet is preferable on that basis. This is not to blindly preach and encourage the superiority of veganism in a militant and judgmental way, which seems to be popular these days as a way of putting another person down with a sense of absolute moral judgment to feel better about oneself. As people are different, and it's possible some people might in fact need more meat than others based on their ancestral background. As well, eating meat was one of the reasons that mankind was able to achieve the level of consciousness we have today, by having more free time. Whereas most vegetarian animals spend most of their day eating and consuming the same respectable calories. But if it's something one can sway themselves to in small doses, it's certainly encouraged. Also, even though it cannot be scientifically proven as it originates as an idea in Buddhism and yoga, there is something to say about absorbing the consciousness of the animals that are consumed, such that most animals in the modern world are farmed and often they are conscious of the fact that they will die, where they live in that constant state of fear and stress. And this possibly leads to elevated stress hormones that we in fact end up consuming, versus animals in our early hunter-gatherer societies that would have died more suddenly without anticipation of death and have less consciousness of prolonged suffering. The biggest challenge people have with a vegetarian diet is worrying that they will lose strength. However, there are many strong proponents of plant-based muscle building like former Mr. Olympia and California Senator Arnold Schwarzenegger that actually promote vegetarianism for strength athletes. Having said that, in nature, some of the strongest animals like gorillas, elephants and giraffes are vegetarian. So it's not true you have to eat meat to have size and strength. In actuality, even ancient Roman gladiators were mostly vegetarian, since they were slaves. Meat was not often wasted on them, as barley would actually make up most of their diet. Yet in the modern age, it's fairly easy to get a variety of protein sources from the supermarket. Tofu is a great protein source and was actually discovered by the ancient Chinese Taoist for the need to find an appropriate source of protein other than meat. Also, nuts make up a good source of protein and calcium. End of the day, you need to use what is reasonable within your own means, as food is an important aspect of life and some people can deal with more sacrifice than others in the diet department. So in the end, try to follow whatever works best for you and adds to your spiritual practice.